Okay, so let's talk about AI video, because it's not just growing anymore, it's absolutely exploding. We're going to break down why 2026 is the year everything changed and give you the playbook for what's coming. Let's dive right in. And look, this isn't just hype. When you have someone like Fengji, the producer behind the massive game Black Myth Wukong, calling the new model the strongest on Earth, well, you know the game has completely changed. The competition is getting, unbelievably fierce. You see the names popping up everywhere, right? Sora, Kling, Veo, Runway. It feels like every week one of them leapfrogs the others. But you know what? The real story here, the thing that's going to decide who actually wins this race, it isn't just about who has the newest, shiniest tech. Nope. It's about the new language you need to speak to control them. That's it. The whole revolution is in the prompt. It's a huge shift in how we talk to these AIs to get exactly what's in our heads. The days of just throwing a vague idea out there and hoping for the best, yeah, those are officially over. Okay, so before we get into the nitty-gritty of this new language, you really need to understand why it's so important. And to do that, you have to see just how fast this whole space is moving. Seriously, this isn't a marathon, it's a flat-out sprint. Just look at this timeline. It is insane. We're talking about an 11-day period where the entire industry got turned on its head. OpenAI drops Sora 2, setting this incredible new benchmark. And then bam, Kling comes out. Bam, Dance. Bam, Google pushes a VO update. They didn't just meet the benchmark, they shattered it. This isn't just innovation, folks. It's a full-blown arms race. And when things are moving this fast, you can't afford to be vague.
So how do you win a race like that? Well, it's not enough to just have a cool idea anymore. Creators have to learn to speak like a director, to translate that vision in their head into really specific technical commands that the AI can understand and execute perfectly. And this is the key to the whole thing. It's a concept called technical orchestration. Here's the best way to think about it. Asking for a moody vibe is like getting in a cab and saying, take me somewhere cool. You might get lucky, right? But technical orchestration, that's like giving the driver a precise address, telling them the exact route to take, and even the speed you want them to drive. You're not hoping anymore. You are guaranteed to get exactly where you want to go every single time. So what does that look like in practice? Well, these 8 control layers, this is basically the grammar of this new language. You're not just saying a person in a room anymore. No, you're specifying the optics. Are you using a 35mm lens for a wide cinematic feel or an 85mm for an intimate portrait? You're defining the camera motion down to the centimeter, like dolly in at 0 0.5 meters per second. You're even calling out the lighting, the film stock, everything. Each one of these layers gives you a level of professional control that was, frankly, science fiction just a year ago. And this comparison just nails it. Look at the old way on the left. It's a wish, it's a vibe, cinematic shot, rainy Tokyo, moody. Okay, what does that even mean? Now look the right. This isn't a wish, it's a blueprint. It's a set of instructions. An 85mm prime lens, shallow depth of field, a slow push in. See the difference? One is a lottery ticket. The other is a director calling the shots. And that right there, that's the big shift. You're not just a prompter anymore. You're not just using AI. You're the director of photography. You're the one making all the creative calls for every single frame. All right, so who's actually playing in this new sandbox? Let's meet the top contenders and see how they stack up in this new world. Okay, here's a quick cheat sheet of the 2026 lineup. You've got your heavy hitters. Runway is still the go-to for pros who need that granular control. Sora 2 is all about that epic cinematic storytelling. But then you've got these incredible challengers like Kling, which is all about value, and Dance, which is really nailing the audio sync. And you can't forget the specialists, like Synthesia, which basically owns the business and training video market. Let's zoom in on Kling 3.0 for a second. Its killer feature? It can generate a whole sequence of shots in one go. It's kind of like having an AI storyboard artist. You throw in native 4K video at 60 frames per second on top of that, and suddenly you've got a powerhouse tool, especially if you're making a lot of content and need to watch the budget. And then you've got Runway, which is still the king of precision. I'm talking about tools like their multi-motion brush, which lets you, get this, paint motion onto a specific part of a still image. So you can make just the hair blow in the wind or just a candle flicker while the rest of the shot is frozen. That's the kind of insane detailed control that pro VFX artists live for. Okay, so all this amazing tech is great, but what's it going to cost you, right? Well, the pricing models are just as varied as the tools themselves. Let's talk money.
So if you want to play at the very top, you're looking at Sora 2. But to get its absolute best output, that full 1080p quality, you're going to need a ChatGPT Pro plan, and that'll set you back about $200 a month. Yeah, that's a serious investment, but you're paying for that absolute top-tier cinematic look. Then, on the complete other end of the spectrum, you've got Google's Veo. It's a totally different approach. It's pay as you go. You pay about 50 cents for every second of 4K video the API creates. Now, this isn't really for the casual user. This is built for developers and big studios who are plugging this tech directly into their own workflows and need to generate video at a massive scale. But honestly, while the super expensive and the super technical models get all the headlines, the real story, the one that affects most of us, is right here. Look at what's happening at the entry level. The prices for amazing tools like Kling, Pika, and Runway are dropping fast. We're talking professional-grade tools becoming available for less than what you'd pay to go see a movie. That's a game changer. Okay, so we've covered the insane speed of the tech, the new language you need to speak, the major players, and how much it all costs. So, what's the playbook? How do you actually navigate all this in 2026? Here are the 5 big things you absolutely need to keep your eye on. 1. Audio is now a must-have. Silent AI video is dead. 2. This race is global. The gap between Chinese and Western models, it's gone. 3. It's all about multi-shot sequences now, not just one-off clips. 4. Like we just saw, the prices are dropping like a rock, making this stuff accessible to everyone. And 5, the next big thing is end-to-end tools. I'm talking AI that can take you from a simple script all the way to a fully edited final video. And that really brings us to the final, and maybe the most important question of all. The tech is here. The tools are getting cheaper by the day. So the real challenge isn't about what the AI can do anymore. It's about us. It's about the quality, the creativity, and the precision of our own ideas. So let me ask you, when an AI can build literally any world you can describe, what story will you choose to tell?